Hi there, I'm back from my holidays. In fact, I've been back for a couple of weeks. Hopefully you've been checking out my YouTube videos of FunSpot and other arcades I visited while I was in America. But now it's time to get back to the Mastertronic Chronicles. First of all though, you may notice I'm now in widescreen. And also I'm now in HD because I brought a new camera, which is very nice. And my first review in HD is going to be a Mastertronic release from 1988. Called Pulsoids. So this is one of the later Mastertronic releases with the white branding with the black logo down the side, and here's the front cover. It says Pulsoids on it. It's got a bloke fighting an alien which looks suspiciously like a very large facehugger from the Alien saga of films. The bloke himself looks more like a Ghostbuster though. Anyway, the spine says Pulsoids on it. And the back cover, as you would expect. Screenshots. Seems to say Pulsoid rather than Pulsoids on the back though. So there seems to be a bit of a contradiction in the cover already. And as you can probably tell, it looks suspiciously like a Breakout or Arkanoid clone. And the description there says pretty much the same thing. Reflect and deflect laser something pulses as they fly around the arena, breaking down barriers. Yep, it's a Breakout clone. Inside the inlay we've got some blurb, of course. Pulsoids, the primetime techno sport. So basically they're trying to pass off a game of Breakout or Arkanoid as some kind of futuristic sport. There's also some mentions of things like darts and archery there, but I can't really bother to read it. You can read it if you like, in glorious high definition. And inside, a novice's guide to the art of Pulsoid. Use the energy mirror, i.e. bat, to deflect laser pulses, i.e. ball, back into the body of the arena. Collect falling bonus batteries. So you've got bonus batteries, which are basically the power-ups, just like you got in Arkanoid. So you've got L, which is the extend the bat, various other things, slowing down, cloning. Oh, that's an extra life. Temporary plasma barrier across the back wall of the arena. That sounds useful. And so on. Anyway, some more stuff there. Red blocks have to be hit twice before they're vaporized. Grey blocks are immune to laser vaporization. Hitting a lightning block activates a time warp. Blah blah blah. Loading instructions and some foreign language instructions. And that is it. So this is the title screen, which is pretty much the game screen, but instead of the game in this box here, you've got the instructions, or the credits if you like. The credits at the bottom say program written by Silhouette Software and copyright 1987 Mastertronic, so the game obviously was produced before it was actually released. And otherwise it's just got a few settings and in-game commands, so not much really to say about the title screen other than that. So let's get on with the game, and you do that by pressing fire. And as you can see, it's a very familiar looking sight. It's pretty much like Arkanoid, but instead of a ball, you got me there. You fire a little sort of laser bolt around instead. Hopefully I'll last a little bit longer on my second life. As you can see, there's some bricks that need to be hit twice before they vanish, and some that only need to be hit once. Lots of power-ups in the game, and also every time the beam hits an alien that comes out the top of the screen, it splits into two, so it does get pretty crazy on the screen, as you can see. Best just to try and focus on one of the beams, but with a bit of luck you can actually complete a level pretty quickly. Except now I've got 4 beams on the screen, now 2 beams on the screen, and now I'm getting anywhere near that thing. There we go. So that was the first level done pretty rapidly. Didn't even get a chance to talk about the power-ups much, but an L makes the bat wider. An X, which is what's dropping down the screen at the moment, gives you an extra life. They're quite plentiful in supply, as you can see there's another one. The C allows you to absorb energy, and the B, as you can see, puts a background on the screen which doesn't really seem to do anything, like a beam behind the player, which I was expecting would deflect the things that I'm firing around. I don't know what that one does, but it makes the bat yellow. And the C, as I was trying to say, actually allows your bat to absorb energy from these beams, which gives you a bonus, which, as you can see on the right hand side, is currently 200. When that bonus goes up, eventually you get, at the end of the level, you get that added to your score if you complete the level. Ooh, down to just a 1 beam, yeah. So it's quite a cool little game actually. The graphics are quite nice, movement of the bat's alright, you know. It's pretty much a breakout game. If you like those kind of games and you're good at them, then it's no worse than any other. Oh, there goes another life. But I have got 5 lives now thanks to all those X's that I picked up. So hopefully this won't take too long. One thing you can't do is move the bat before it fires, so it always fires the beam in exactly the same direction from exactly the same place each time you start the level. That's not ideal. Just the 2 bricks to get rid of on this level now, and the 1. Both missed by a whisker there. There we go. And I think that's a D on the pink brick power-up that falls down. That one makes the beam go slower, which is obviously quite useful. Here we've got some grey bricks which are impossible to destroy, which means if you keep bouncing it off them, eventually you're just going to get incredibly frustrated. Here's that B again. Let's just see if that does. No, it just vanishes. I don't understand what that's for. I assume that was a barrier to deflect the thing off the bottom of the screen and back up again. So, but clearly not. It probably says in the instructions, which I didn't read very well. I'm not sure what's happening here now. I think I've got that stuck somehow down the side of the bat. Yeah, and now it's bounced out. Little bit of a programming bug there. Sound effects are pretty decent, you know, the usual sort of bouncing sounds and little explosions and things. They sound a little bit like the noises in Whizball, especially when you hit an enemy. It sounds like the cat from Whizball. I'm doing quite well. This is definitely my best go of the game so far. I do like the fact it gets kind of frantic as the game progresses as well. There's not really a lot else to say about it, so I've still got 3 lives left. I'll just carry on. The layout of screens is pretty predictable. Oh, that didn't work out very well for me. Usual sort of varying layouts of bricks that aren't particularly exciting. Oh, there goes another life, so I'm on my last life now. And all that effort onto level 4, and I've only got 3,700 points, so it's a bit stingy with the scoring. Oh, and that's game over. And that's pretty much it. Not much more point to playing it again. So the other thing to mention is, as soon as the game's finished, your score vanishes and there's no high score or anything on the game. That's a bit of an oversight. Also, the front cover, as I mentioned, says Pulsoids, but the actual game says Pulsoid, so not much more to say about that. I'd say this is worth $1.99, especially if you're into Arkanoid style games. It's not particularly original, but it's nicely put together and quite a challenge when the little beams fly all over the screen. So not a bad start to the game reviews after 4 or 5 weeks off.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
2, 1, 0.